right, good. Okay, this course that you are beginning today is called Beginners Communication Studies, or simply Communication Studies for Year 1 students. The lesson that we are starting at this time is lesson number 1, in which I will have the course outline. It's not what we're going to be studying altogether. We're just going to be studying a little section of that course outline today and next week. But we're looking at what we're going to be studying over the year. And the first lesson that we are studying today is called Parts of Speech. And this is part 1 of Parts of Speech. So here is the course outline for Year 1 and Year 2 students. In section 1, we're dealing with what is called grammar, usage, that is how the language is used, and mechanics, the different parts of the language and how they relate to each other. In this section, we're looking at number 1, parts of speech, nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, verbs, preposition, conjunction, interjection. So this is what I will be covering this week and next week, God permitting. After we're finished parts of speech, we will be moving on to verbs and the tenses of the verbs. Tenses refer to the time when an action takes place. And it also refers to the kind of action that takes place, whether it is just one time or whether it is over and over again. We will be looking at 4 tenses: present tense, past tense, future tense, and perfect tense. Then we'll be looking at rules for forming plurals of nouns. After that, we will look at types of sentences. Number 5, characteristics of sentences. Number 6, how to use capitalization in writing. Number 7, using punctuation in writing. Number 8, the use of synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms. Number 9, spelling rules. Number 10, words often confused in the English language, like been or being, accept or except, altogether or all together. In section 2, we'll be looking at developing oral communication skills. Oral has to do with what you say with your mouth. Number 1, we will look at what the communication process involves. In fact, this is what the second-year students are going to be starting right after this class is over. They'll be starting section 2, developing oral communication skills, and they will be starting number 1, what the communication process involves, such as the sender, message, channel by which the message is sent, receiver, that is the person who hears the message. Welcome, Brother Denville Wright. Glad that you are able to find your way over to the virtual class. Okay, we'll be looking at feedback, that is questions that the person who hears something might ask to get more information, to better understand what is said. and barriers to the communication process. This is the second year section of this. We'll also be looking during the duration of the year at nonverbal communication. Now, verbal is what you say. Nonverbal is what you don't say with your mouth, but what you say with your eyes, or with the way you dress, or with your gestures, or with the way that you move your body. Number 3, rules for active listening. Number 4, barriers to communication. Number 5, questioning techniques. Number 6, principles of oral communication. Number 7, linguistic features of Jamaican Creole versus Jamaican Standard English. And we will have students in the class at that time making oral presentations. Then in section 3, most likely this will be in year 3 of your studies here, we will look at developing the paragraph. We will look at topic sentences and where they may be found in a paragraph. Number 3, we will look at different styles or modes of writing, whether it is descriptive, narrative, expository, and persuasive. Number 4, we will look at writing reports, such as a simple report writing format, or a report using memoranda format, and report writing guidelines. We will also look at types of business letters. These include the letter of advice, the letter of complaint, and the letter of apology. Number 6, we will look at the business letter format or style, such as its heading, the inside address, salutation, body, complimentary close, signature. The letter writing style may be the block style or indented style. We will also in section 3 look at writing the letter of application, the full application letter, the cover letter attached to the resume, filling out an application form for a job, special features of the application letter. We will also look at writing the resume, and we will look at the meaning of the resume, types of resumes, and the format of the resume. A resume is a shortened version of what is called curriculum vitae or CV. The CV goes into more detail. The resume is brief, but the curriculum vitae or CV is long. In the 4th year, you'll be looking at developing comprehension skills. The importance of comprehension in everyday life, factors affecting comprehension, the role of comprehension in communication, building comprehension skills such as 1, identify the main idea of the passage, 2, summarize the main ideas of the passage, 3, describe the tone of the passage, 4, give examples of specific details, 5, understand the writer's intention, 6, know the type of passage you are reading, whether it is literary, persuasive, or expository. Also determine meaning of words and phrases in the comprehension passage, and reading the comprehension passage and answering questions. Now today we are just starting section 1, which is grammar and mechanics of how to use the language. And the basic part of how to use a language in English or any other language is what is called parts of speech. These are the different components or elements that are necessary in order for us to be able to either speak or write and communicate with each other. In part one of parts of speech, we'll be looking at nouns, pronouns, and verbs. Now, this is going to be simple, and both of you that are here would already have learned this in the education system, the public education system. But I go into the basics of English because most of the students at the Jamaica School of Preaching International do not speak English as their first language. And so I have to be simple in how I present the English language course. So first of all, let us look at noun, the word noun. It means that it is a word that names or identifies a person, a place, or a thing. But I would add to that what we're not usually taught in the public education system, but what becomes obvious as you get older and you realize that there is another part of a noun which names a concept or an idea. For example, the concept of love. That is an idea which is expressed in words and in action. Or the concept of joy, or the concept of peace. Okay, so a noun doesn't only name tangible persons, places, or things, but intangible concepts or ideas that we are taught, for example, in the Bible. Okay, so here's a picture of a person, and this person is a preacher. A noun names a person, and here's an example. This is a preacher. A noun names a place. Here is a church building to represent a place. A noun names a thing. Here's a picture of a Holy Bible. And so we find that a noun names or identifies a person, a place, or a thing. We are now looking at the second part of speech, and that is a pronoun. A pronoun takes the place of a noun, that is, it may be used in the place of a noun. So instead of saying the preacher every time you speak or write, you can say the preacher one time, and then afterwards you can use the pronoun he, and you know that he is referring to the preacher. So you do not have to say the preacher all the way through your speech or your writing. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. That is, it may be used in the place of a noun. So he may be used in place of the preacher. It may be used in place of the church building. So again, you don't have to say or to write the church building all the time. You can say it once, and then afterwards you can use the word it, which would be pointing back to the noun, the church building. Or you may use the word Bible once, and then you may use the pronoun it to refer to the Bible, because a noun takes the place of a noun, that is, it may be used in the place of a noun. So a noun names persons, places, things, and concepts or ideas. Pronouns may be used in place of nouns instead of repeating the noun all the way through your speech or writing. We're now going to be moving on to verbs, the third part of speech. So a verb tells what the noun or the pronoun does. In that case, it is an action word. It is a doing word. It is a word that expresses activity. So the noun identifies or names the person. The pronoun stands in place of the noun so that you don't have to use the noun all the time. But a verb tells us what the noun or the pronoun does. But a verb does not only tell you what the noun or the pronoun does. The verb is not just a doing word. It is also a word that expresses who a person is. So it expresses the state of being. So it's not just about action, but it is about being, who a person is. So a verb tells what the noun or the pronoun is. Well, who is this person? Well, you know who he is, not just by the noun, but by what he does. He preaches. A verb also tells you what happens to the noun or pronoun. What action is done to the noun or pronoun. So a verb tells what the noun or the pronoun does, is, or what happens to it. So here we have the preacher. Preacher, the word preacher itself is the noun. Preaches, which is the verb. The preacher preaches. Nouns, pronouns, and verbs are spoken or written together to form a simple sentence. A noun or a pronoun may be used as the subject of a sentence. The subject, noun or pronoun, is a person, place, or thing that is spoken of or written about. For example, the preacher. The verb is the word that tells what the subject does or is. For example, preaches. A group of words is not a sentence unless it contains both a subject and a verb. Now, what I want you to do right now, we have time, so I'm going to give this to you right now instead of homework. I want you to identify the subject, noun or pronoun of the following sentences by putting it in italics. That is, the print is leaning, just like you see here. Identify the verb by putting it in bold print. Now, each correct answer is 10%. So, what I would like you to do, whether it is on a piece of paper or whether it is on your email, you can type these sentences now, but when you type them, I want you to make sure that whichever is the subject in the sentence, you put it in italic print, and whichever is the verb, you put it in bold print. And you can send that to me when you're finished, most likely after class is finished, so that I can grade it and put a grade in the marks register beside your name. Do you have any question on the lesson before you do this classwork? Is there anything that you don't understand that you'd like me to go over? Brother Denville.
So are you gonna send this to us so we can respond to it, or we have to just like take a picture
Okay,
of it?
do you have a notebook there?
Yeah,
All right, you can do it right now, just like you see it on the screen. It's just 10 simple sentences, and we have enough time before the class is over. Class is finished at 10:30. Okay, so you have about 27 minutes before class is finished. So you can take your notebook and do these sentences. So the subject must be in italics print, that is leaning, and the verb should be in bold print, so I can know which is the subject and which is the verb. Okay, let me check. Brother Denville, what number are you at? Or have you finished? You can unmute yourself, you hear?
Number
Yes.
9, Brother Buckland.
All right. Brother Golding, what number are you at?
Number 9.
All right, good.
Mix up number first. Number 9. Number 8.
Brother Golding, you can come to the laptop on the teacher's desk and speak for me.
No, I'm saying that I made a mistake. I'm actually at number 8, but I'm here writing number
Okay.
9 for number 8.
All right, all right.
So.
Okay, Brother Golding, are you finished?
Yes, sir. You say I have to take a picture and send you?
Okay, you can do that, but I'm going to go through it first.
Okay, okay.
Brother Denville, what number are you now at? You can unmute yourself. You can.
I'm
yes.
finished. I'm finished, yeah.
All right, good. I'm going to let Brother Golding start first. In number 1, Brother Golding, what is the subject and what is the verb?
The subject is God and the verb is love.
All right, you can sit at the teacher's desk again for me.
Hearing me now?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
The subject is love. No, the subject is God and the verb is love.
Okay, do number 2 for us. Go right through to 10. Let me hear what you have.
Okay, subject, Jesus, verb, died. Subject,
Yes.
Jesus, verb, arose. Subject number 4, subject, Jesus, verb, saves. Number 5, subject, God, verb, forgives. Number 6, subject, you, and verb, believe. Number 7, subject you, verb repent. Number 8, subject you and verb confess. Number 9, subject you, verb are and baptized. And number 10, subject you, verb are saved.
Okay, thank you, Brother Gordon. Brother Denville, you can go
Okay,
through also,
okay.
or did you get the same answers?
I got the same answer as you did.
The same answers.
Mhm.
Okay, that means both of you got 100% then,
Okay,
10 out of 10.
okay,
You're correct. That means you understand clearly what the lesson is. This is a basic lesson.
okay.
Okay, now what you can do for me when this class is over,
Mhm.
not immediately necessarily, not immediately after the class is over, but sometime today,
Mhm.
you can scan this paper that you have written on, and you can send it to my email. Let me tell you my email. It is all common letters. Are you ready?
Yes.
It is JOE, that is Joe, underscore Buckland, that is BUCKLAND, at yahoo.com.
Okay.
So you can scan it sometime today
Mhm.
and send it to my email so I can have it as a record
Okay.
in an e-folder for you. Okay,
Okay.
now let me see. Brother Denville,
Uh-huh.
I saw you at the graduation.
Uh-huh.
You were among the graduates, weren't you?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That was the diploma program or certificate program?
The diploma. I think it's a diploma program.
Diploma course.
Mhm.
So you are in the full-time course now.
Yeah, I'm doing the full-time course now. Yes.
All right, that's good. Tell me something about yourself.
Okay. I'll be, if God's willing, I'll be 60 on Monday. I was born in 1961 in Bull Savannah, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica.
Okay,
And I went to Monroe College for 7 years. And then I did accounting. I worked with accounting firms in Jamaica for about 22 years or thereabouts. And then I migrated in 2005 to Florida. And I worked at a bank for 12 years. I'm currently unemployed, but I'm trying to set up my own business. Yeah.
okay,
And then I was baptized in 1998, 8th of November 1998, at the Bull Savannah Church of Christ. And
okay.
I'm married with 3 kids.
All right, that's good. Yes, I have been a Christian for a little over 51 years.
Wow.
I was a member at the Church of Christ in Mona Heights, where the Jamaica School of Preaching
Mm-hmm.
started.
Mm-hmm.
And I taught there many years ago and recently came back to teach again.
Okay.
My father was minister of that church, and he also taught at the School of Preaching. My
Okay.
mother also taught at the School of Preaching.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so I have a long history with that school and
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
church that the school is
Mm-hmm.
associated with.
That's wonderful, Brother Buckland.
Yes, I knew Brother Kidu when he was a young man in his 20s.
Okay.
I knew him before he got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
He was baptized in 1968,
Uh-huh.
and I was baptized in 1969.
Wow.
But I knew him as a young person.
Okay.
So we have a long history going back in time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, you all got the new ID meeting numbers
Oh yeah, because I
number
was on
for
the
the
other one.
first year course. That makes it simpler for you since it will be one ID meeting number
Right.
and one passcode.
Yeah.
I only saw it in my email this morning,
Okay.
so I had to hurry up and notify the different students and make the change myself.
Okay.
Okay. Well, God bless you. I will see you later on this morning. We have a year one Hebrew language class starting at 11:30.
30, right. Okay, Brother Blackburn.
All right. So God
Thank you
bless you
very much.
all.
God bless you too.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Yeah.